So,
Oh dear.
okay, yes,
You
we're
had
here
a
for...
week break, Ian. You had a week break.
I did.
We're here for the Doctor Who diary, and yeah, to enjoy this with us, we've also got another nugget of pure Doctor Who gold. It's starry-eyed girl Sarah Graham back.
Oh my God. Her too. Bloody hell. The diary and starry-eyed.
It's a double whammy, and it's a double
Dear,
whammy.
oh dear.
Hello, everybody.
Good to see you, Sarah. You okay? You seem to be dressed like a minion. What's going on?
She is, yeah.
A cosplay. You were talking about cosplay earlier. Just.
I love it. Fantastic. I know you've had a brilliant day. Congratulations. We'll talk some more later, but it's great to see you. You'll never believe what we've got lined up later on. But yeah, we're about to get stuck into the Doctor Who diary.
Yeah.
And
I've been told not to miss this, so I was like, "What's Dan got? So it better be good, Dan." I'm just
Yeah, Dan.
Okay. Well, first of all, we're going back. Imagine this. We're going back 56 years this week to season 3 of Doctor Who. Season 3 was being brought to a close by episode 4 of The War Machines. So this was the story. It was set in then present day Earth, written by Ian Stewart Black, and it was directed by Michael Ferguson. So this had been a period of enormous change for viewers of Doctor Who. Stephen Taylor, played by Peter Purvis, he'd only departed in the previous story, and Jackie Lane's Dodo just sort of vanished into thin air midway through this one. But with this finale, the Doctor, he'd see off those pesky Wotans, Terry, and their war machines.
Can I point something out? All you hardcore Doctor Who fans, read the name of the character that William Hartnell's playing on that.
Yes, I know. It's not a crime to say that either.
He's playing Doctor Who, not the Doctor.
He was listed as Doctor Who on the end credits of the show itself, I think, until the end of season 17.
All the way up to Tom Baker. In a couple of Tom Baker episodes. And the thing is, I just say that to put the cat among the pigeons because people get so up their bottoms about it's the Doctor. It's never been Doctor Who. It's like, yes, it has.
It has been, yeah. It has been.
And as Gary Akers points out, it's actually in that story as well. I think in an earlier episode, Wotan send out that message, Doctor Who is required.
Good call.
And yes, it's and Mike Reed, who obviously the late Mike Reed, comedian and actor, he was also in this as a sort of stuntman. But yeah, this was also the episode that Michael Craze and Aniki Wills, they joined permanently as Ben and Polly. So I know that some of you are deeper into the classic show than others. Charlotte, I always ask you this first. Have you seen The War Machines? Is a 4-parter? Has this made it onto your screen yet?
No, but I have seen some with Ben and Polly in. I just haven't seen this one.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest, I don't like Ben at all.
Nor do I.
No, I don't even like the TARDIS behind him.
I thought it was the only one.
Wrong shape.
No,
I thought it was the only one.
I just find him like overly
irritating.
Argumentative.
Yes.
For no apparent reason.
I'm going to shout at you, young man.
Yes.
It does get a little like that, and some of the companions, I think, it was almost like a revolving door of them around that time because Innes Lloyd had taken over as producer, and they were trying lots of different things. Some of it stuck, some of it didn't. And I know that some of the actors and actresses, they lived with what they felt was rejection for quite a long time. Some of them were quite bitter about the treatment that they received on the show when they tried to make it work again. I think the show continued to work for viewers, Sarah, but that early dynamic of the original 4 with Ian and Barbara, the Doctor and Susan Stroke Vicky, I think that was a difficult thing for them to recapture.
I think so. It's because everybody had tuned in for that dynamic, and it worked so well. I know even when Susan left, you'd still, Vicky, she kind of still fulfilled that role.
Yeah.
So I think it was definitely when Ian and Barbara both departed. I think there definitely was, this period where it just wasn't the same, and they were just trying, different things. But I got to agree with Charlotte and Ian. It's Ben and Polly. I'm not really. And I'm waiting for the comment from RetroDoc because we watched The Power of the Daleks, and every episode I was like, "Oh, why is Ben and Polly so annoying?"
Yeah.
Oh right. Yeah, there's a strange. It's a strange combo, and the show would continue to be in a state of unrest when it would come back for season 4, and Patrick Troughton would be along pretty quick into that run.
Well,
but I love the War
because-
Machines. This is a fast story in for the classic show. There's lots of, I wouldn't say there's lots of action. Can you describe it as action when it's that slow, Terry? But it's fun. Would you ever build a Wotan, Terry?
No, no, you won't.
Yeah, when I get to the point where I don't want, my dodgy knee gives out, and I can just sit in a sort of little motorized wheelchair, like they do with the Daleks, and just drive a Wotan around plonking.
But one thing it was saying, BBC was saying that William Hartnell was the star. That's what they were saying, right? It didn't matter how many people surrounded him.
Yes,
This man was the star of this show. And it actually, when the others left and they brought in Ian, he was, obviously Hartnell was still there. He was the show. Do you know what I mean? They couldn't get rid of him until obviously he couldn't do it anymore. So, so that's what it was saying, really. But yeah, I agree. That guy, he was so irritating. Oh my Lord. He really needed to get zapped by a Dalek, didn't he? Let's face it. He really did.
Oh dear. Let's move on a little and issue some birthday greetings, I think. Let's bring it a bit more up to date. Happy 70th birthday to Celia Imrie, one of the best known faces, I think.
Yes.
On
I do
British
like her.
TV. Very
I do like her.
successful and recognizable actress and author, best known for movie roles, I think, in the Bridget Jones films, in Calendar Girls, Nanny McPhee, The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. She's in that. She's in Mamma Mia. And she's in one of my all-time favourite films, Highlander, Ian. She plays a buxom-serving wench in there that Christophe Lambert has a bit of a tussle with.
You haven't mentioned the thing that a lot of people forget she was in.
Oh, God, you mentioned it then.
Okay, so she was in the video that Michael Caine was teaching how to act, and she was an unknown then, and she assisted him. So if you go on YouTube, and you type in Michael Caine teaches how to act, you will see she's one of his students before she was famous.
Wow.
So nobody talks about that. No one talks about it. It's crazy.
I thought you were going to mention the New Statesman, just like Terry.
No,
so
everybody knows she was in the New Statesman.
She played the Prime Minister's secretary, didn't she? Who was having the affair with Alan Bastard at various points. And so great comic timing. She's good in drama too. And of course, it was inevitable that with all the TV work that she'd done, right from the 80s, she was in the things you'd expect, stuff like Bergerac and all that kind of thing. Yeah. And Oranges Are Not the Only Fruit and Casualty and Ab Fab, all these things. So it was probably inevitable that eventually she'd turn up in Doctor Who, Shah. So she played Miss Kislet in The Bells of St. John back in 2013 opposite Matt Smith. Do you remember the character that she played in that? Was she just a bit of a bad guy?
She was it was an absolute waste of a great actress.
It was.
That is probably one of my least favorite Doctor Who episodes, and it's a Matt Smith episode, so I mean business when I say that. I can't.
Do you remember that bit where she just stands there like they go when the Doctor's head was turning around really slowly? She couldn't run off or anything, just like
it
was so bad.
I had forgotten she was even in it. That's not a great song.
Such a waste.
I like that.
She's probably got the best scene. She's probably got the best scene in that whole episode because you realise at the end that she was a child when she got taken.
That was sad.
When she's on the floor, like rocking, and she goes, "Where's Mummy and Daddy?" And it's just like, oh God, that's like the best part of this whole episode.
That should have been Explode Mo. That really should have done. But
yeah.
And he's driving up the up the Shard.
I'd hold with that. Silly. A bit of a waste of a great actress. She's good in the scenes opposite Matt Smith, from what I can remember. Yeah. But the character, it was one of those where we think we know who the bad guy is, but it turns out to be somebody else, which does seem like shortchanging an actress like Celia Imrie, who's continued to be incredibly successful throughout her career and is now a novelist too. But Terry, I suspect that you also noticed her in a Star Wars film.
I did a double take because she literally popped up as a pilot near the end battle, talking in an American accent, and that was it. And I was like, was that Celia Imrie? Where the heck?
So which Star Wars movie was this again?
The Phantom Menace, the first of the prequels.
I spotted her right away in this film. right away. I'm like,
but I was like, what
is she doing in it?
It's
like remember, Terry, the first Star Wars film had the guy from Crossroads in it. He played one of the pilots as well.
You're right.
Yeah, he was in it. He got
Crossroads,
blown up.
The guy used to wear the woolly hat, Paul Henry.
No, not him. Not him. Another guy.
How would he get the headgear over the hat? Oh, whatever. Okay, yeah. So happy 70th birthday to Celia Imrie. I would imagine she's going to keep turning up in movies and TV, and maybe she'll get a second stab in Doctor Who.
I don't know. I think she'd make a good Rani, actually.
Rani? Ooh. Don't put ideas in Russell T's head.
Absolutely delicious. Tony L says Celia is in an Ace US show. I'm glad I'm not the only person who still uses the word Ace, Tony. Thanks for that. Yeah, she's in an Ace US show at the moment called Better Things. Season 5 starts on BBC Two this Sunday. And what's Better Things? Anybody seen this? I've never heard of this one.
No.
Stranger Things, yeah. Better Things, no. So let's know in the chat, what's Better Things? How much better is it than other things? I'm all ears. And if it's a fantasy drama, even more so. Let's move on a little to another birthday. Sticking with the new series too. Happy 38th birthday to Florence Hoth.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! Do you want? Okay. Do you know Florence?
Close friends.
Is she my mummy?
So Florence Hoth turns 38 this week, and although she's no longer acting, you could gather there from various reactions on the panel that Florence is a real favourite with the Doctor Who fans. I think we immediately latched onto her playing Nancy in Stephen Moffat's The Empty Child and The Doctor Dances, Sarah. But she's born in London. She made her film debut aged just 8 years old and has been in a dozen movies and TV shows right the way through from the early to mid 90s. What was it called? Fairy Tale, A True Story. I think Paul McGann was in that as well. Goodbye, Mr. Chips with John Thor. I think that was one of John Thor's last roles. And yes, Miss Marple, all those kind of shows.
Why did she stop acting?
Right until her last credit was something called Lost in Austin back in 2008 for ITV. That was a fantasy TV show, also starring Alex Kingston amongst others. But yeah, Florence Hoth no longer acts. Don't know what she does. She's on Twitter and she seems happy enough. But yeah, this character Sarah, Nancy in The Empty Child, she's very much the heart of that story, that seminal story.
She's a brilliant foil for the Doctor as well. I love their chemistry, with the comments she makes about his ears and his nose, and very much. She's been a brilliant companion. She's very, resourceful. She's caring.
Everybody lives
for them kids. Yeah, she takes charge, and you think if it had been another situation, I could just see her being, I think she'd be brilliant. But yeah, she's absolutely, and it was nice. As much as I like Rose in series 1, it was nice for the Doctor to have, more time with another person. It just brought out a different side. And then you got the thing about that he was a dad, and he knew a thing or two about war as well, and all these little breadcrumbs that would lead up. But yeah, you can't imagine that story without Nancy. She is really.
Well, Rose was making googly eyes with Captain Jack, wasn't she, at the time? So you know what I mean. what a tart.
Yeah, that's for Rose.
Yeah, Rose.
Carol Jude adds that Nancy rocked. She's so capable, and Wendy just nailed it. Would have been a great companion.
Who's Wendy?
I have no idea. I think she means Florence. Yeah, Florence just nailed it. Would have been a great companion. Oh yeah.
She would have.
Oh no, she means she's getting you mixed up.
Wendyology.
Oh,
Tony. But yeah, whenever we talk about this, is one of those stories, Terry, just like the Robots of Death. Whenever we mention the title of it, The Empty Child's exactly the same. People just gasp. But everything about this story seems to connect with people. Poor Ian, he's a bad. Someone needs to give him the Heimlich maneuver. The cat's going to come in and sort him out in a minute.
Yeah, the Empty Child story was a lovely, self-contained, story where everything happened all in this one story, and it had this this thing, to see the Doctor so excited about everybody lives just this once. It was great. That it's like a nice thing all the way through it, and set in wartime, brought in Captain Jack out of the blue as well, which is interesting. So yeah, it did really well.
Yeah, and obviously, it's sad to see people leave the profession, but we hear that people aren't acting anymore, Shah. But because a lot of us who are in the fandom think how much we'd love to be in the show. But I suppose, particularly if she'd been acting since she was 8, maybe she just had enough. Maybe other things in life that she wanted to do.
Yeah, maybe a family. Maybe she stopped to, concentrate on her family and stuff. That's, a lot of actresses do that. So there's nothing wrong with that. She wants to stop. Yeah. But let's just make it known that she's a really good actress, as far as I'm concerned. Sorry.
What do you think? What do you think, Shah?
No, that was it. Like I said, I said it was a shame because I thought she's great.
Yeah.
And she could have gone really, really far. But like you said, she's been acting since she was 8. How many people have a job for 20 years and keep the same profession? Mm-hmm. So that's true. I get that.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
me. Richard Brooks says
I definitely need one.
Needs a cornet.
I might get one actually when we have the pee break. We should have a pea break for this, but yeah.
That is it. We're closing the Doctor Who diary for
Thank
this
God.
time. But let's know your
great minds.
We'll see. Yes, leave your birthday messages for Celia and for Florence in the comments section. We may pass them on to them. I know that Florence is definitely on Twitter. I'm sure she'll love that.
They're both watching.
Your thoughts about the War Machines. I would imagine that they are. I think Celia, I imagine that Celia is probably out on the lash at the moment. She'll certainly, she'll be onto the kebab in around half an hour, I would imagine. And
soak up all
it's a
that
waste of time. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, binge drinker, definitely. Yes, thank you to Simon Horton, as always, for putting that together for us.
Cheers,
and it's
Simon.
looking forward to
shouldn't have bothered Simon
to his return. But that's it.
His spirit still winding you up.
That's it for the Doctor Who diary for this time.